You're looking live at the Heinz Auditorium in Boston, Massachusetts, the site of the 5th Annual New England Cannabis Convention here in the greatest sports town in America. Hi, everybody. I'm Jimmy Young, the founder of the Cannabis Multimedia Network, and I'll be here for the next, oh my goodness gracious, the next 3 days. We'll be live streaming every moment of this convention. And I am joined on our makeshift set here by two people representing Tilt Holdings. They are the presenting sponsor of the 5th Annual New England Cannabis Convention, and I am extremely happy to introduce you to Francesca and to Taylor. And thank you guys for coming out. And thank you so much for the support of the cannabis industry. On behalf of the entire cannabis industry, I thank Tilt Holdings for your support. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us here today.
You bet. No, you know what? We planned this. Let's be honest. We planned this, okay? Because I said, you guys are the presenting sponsors. You should be here to kick the show off. And I really do appreciate that. And tell me a little bit about the company. This is a holding company of how many companies in the cannabis industry?
Yeah, so originally Tilt was founded with 4 companies, those being Sante Veritas, which is a licensed producer in British Columbia, Sea Hunter Therapeutics, Baker Technologies, which is where I come from, as well as Brightside.
And Brightside, which one's the delivery service that had the really cool commercial that I saw last night?
That was Brightside.
Okay, so I'm watching your site. I'm doing some research. I'm doing some prep. I swear I did for Francesca, okay? And I'm watching this commercial, and I'm like, this is such a well-produced commercial with a great story to tell, and you cannot see it on traditional media. And as someone who's been in the media for 40 years, it really pisses me off. It's one of the reasons why I started this network, because I want the industry to have an opportunity to tell their stories. Because, as we know, the traditional media still has a lot of worries, if you will, about the fact that it's still federally illegal. But we do know that there's all sorts of movement going on in this country right now where it does look like we're going to see a change in 2019. We have no idea what that change is going to be, correct? We don't know how deep.
Correct.
So how exciting is that for a company like you guys? You're publicly traded. You've got vertical integration with a whole bunch of stuff from seed to sale. It's got to be an exciting time for you because the market really hasn't even emerged yet, has it?
Yeah. I mean, well, that's right. I mean, you just cherry picked some of the most exciting things that are happening in the market for us right now. And first and foremost, we're excited to be part of the industry and here to support it. We are really, really proud of the organizations that we're able to work with, and we're supporting everything from CRM platforms to distribution services to retail operations to product development, and really helping individual licensed business owners get off the ground. It's a challenging space, as you mentioned, since this is an industry that hasn't been fully recognized by the federal government as something that really holds clout.
Could actually do banking, for instance.
That's right.
A little thing there. When you do business, you do have to use money at some point.
Yes, yeah. There are some real legitimate challenges in this industry that license holders are facing, and our mission at Tilt is really to support those individual business owners and help them thrive in this industry, help them learn best practices, help us build a standard to this industry that everyone can be really, really proud of.
And of course, you tell me your home office is in Cambridge, right? Yes?
That's right. We're based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Tilt Holdings is, and we have a vertical operation here in Massachusetts under Commonwealth Alternative Care. We have a cultivation.
That's in Taunton?
Taunton, Massachusetts,
Yep.
That's right.
I told you I did my homework, guys.
Thank you.
I'll fill in the blanks. And I still maintain I have not had my morning coffee.
That's right. Yeah, so we have a medical dispensary in Taunton, Massachusetts, and we are actually opening another 2 locations under Commonwealth Alternative Care. Brockton, Massachusetts is opening shortly in a few weeks, and we're also hoping to open our Cambridge location near our headquarters, hopefully early summer.
Taylor, I'm going to ask you this question. You hear Francesca talking about hopefully open.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, as we know, voted this in 2016. Okay, it's 2019. I think it's March. Are we still in March? Right, my head's a little crazy. March is a weird month. Has it been frustrating, the slow rollout? Now, we know that there was a political influence by the governor in this state. I'm going to throw him right under the bus, Charlie Baker. Okay, he did not want a revolution. He wanted a slow evolution. How much of an effect has it been on the retarding of the start and the launch of this business? Because the market, as far as I'm concerned, hasn't even opened yet.
Yeah, totally. So this is actually my 4th year at NECAN. So I've actually seen this conference grow over the years. And I would say that although it could be frustrating to some, it's actually important that states take a step back and look at how other states roll out their programs from medical to recreational. So to some it might be frustrating, to others at the government level it actually might be smart in some cases to make sure that you're establishing regulation that's going to roll out the program effectively.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that this is, of course, the 5th New England Can, and
Yeah.
you've been to all of them.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. Anyway, because I remember I've heard stories about the first one, and interestingly enough, I know that my good friend Bob Lobel was instrumental in helping this convention kind of get off. He accepted it. You know, Bob's had a horrible problem with spinal stenosis, and we love Bob Lobel. I was Bob Lobel. That when I was in Portland, Maine for the first 11 years of my career, I wasn't comfortable being myself yet. I am now. But I wasn't then. So I emulated someone I respected, and it was Bob Lobel. And I'd known him his first day at WBZ in 1978. I held the door for him because I was already producing sports at age 20 for Channel 4 at that time when I was a junior at Tufts University. It's incredible that it was that long ago. That's really what I think. So Bob's had a big impact on this because he's legitimized it. He said, hey, you know what? I've used this stuff. I don't like opioids. I've used this stuff, and it has helped me. You hear veterans saying that all the time. I hear people coming up to me all the time saying, cannabis has changed my life. And yet we're sitting here, and I don't understand why my friends in the media haven't shown any kind of a positive spin on what's going on. This is an exciting new industry with jobs, with taxes. You guys made a payment to Taunton recently, did you not?
Right.
Do we know the amount of that? Can we just throw that out there? Is that like one of those things that's privately, in the back? Or do you know how much it was?
No, it was shared publicly, but we did make our first community host agreement to the city of Taunton on behalf of Commonwealth Alternative Care, and we were so honored to be able to do that for the city. Like I mentioned, at our dispensary, we see patients every day that come in and are just really trying to find relief. And that's what our primary job is. We're here to help others feel better. And we do that by creating the most, efficacious products we can, the most technologically advanced medications, the most consistently dosed products, so that our patients know that they can come to Commonwealth Alternative Care, get really good products, get amazing, knowledgeable service, and know that we're also a member of the community, and we want to see other business members thrive and be supported by this industry.
And you guys setting a great example. And one of the biggest challenges, I talked about Governor Baker, he wanted this to be a slow rollout. He certainly got it. And yet everybody supports what the Cannabis Control Commission has done, and Steve Hoffman as the chair. He's the target, let's just say, of a lot of people's frustrations with the slow rollout of the business. But your company is a great example of, you made a host agreement, you're following the rules, you're thriving, you're giving back already. I mean, there are people out there who are still very frustrated with Massachusetts. I mean, you're not frustrated at this point? Are you saying, are they doing a good job? Are we at the point now we're seeing rec shops opening? In fact, Netta opens tomorrow in Brookline. Finally, the closest one in Boston, right?
Right.
So are we at the point now where you feel like you're not a mature industry yet in Massachusetts, but we're still in the infancy?
I mean, if I could say, I think
say whatever you want.
I think that Massachusetts, we're still in the early stages here, and I think the CCC and the state, they've come together and have really done their best to try and create a structure that has longevity in sight, and really considering the needs of patients and constituents and residents, and all of that is very complicated. There is obviously, for us, as we want to have patients in our stores as soon as possible. We want to see more and more people,
You're
be touched
in business.
We're in business.
Right.
So, but we know that we need to walk before we run, and we want people to feel good about having this in their neighborhoods. So if it takes a little bit longer, we're okay with that. We just know that together we can make these small steps and really create something that's going to last.
Software. Everybody's in software in this world. What differentiates
Correct.
Tilt Holdings software from others that are playing in the software world?
Yeah, totally. So with the combination, our recent acquisition of Blackbird, Baker Technologies and Blackbird are currently in process of integrating our systems. So Baker as a whole is a CRM, so we provide targeted text messaging to where we can understand the consumer. You can send out messages based on products, maybe conditions, etc. And then Blackbird actually has a couple different services. So they actually provide B2B distribution, taking product from wholesaler to retailer, but they also do home delivery. And so right now, that's going to be a big movement. Obviously in Massachusetts, you can only do delivery medically right now, but hope to see that go recreationally, just because it is a safer, more convenient way to get product.
Now, I know the commission and Steve Hoffman, the chair, and I sat down, I think it was about a week ago. It's been a little bit of a blur the last week, let's just say. And we have excerpts of that interview, that one-on-one with Steve Hoffman that we're going to intersperse in our 18 hours. I told you, I'm just not on yet. 18 hours of live streaming over the next 3 days here. And again, slow rollouts, walk before you run. I think Governor Baker said that, so you did a very good job. Very good job of that. The host agreements has been one of the biggest things that, the commission, not the commissions come under fire. It's just a fact of life. Massachusetts people, we love causes, and we love to fight causes sometimes, don't we, Massachusetts? It's a great come on, best sports town in America.
Very passionate bunch.
Very passionate. But even those that are in city and town, small town and small city government, want to be a player in this. They see the opportunity. There's a big cash grab mentality out there, from little mom and pop stores to the holding companies. Everybody wants to be part of this. And of course in Massachusetts, sometimes they want to make it as challenging as possible. Grabs onto an issue and becomes passionate about it. I think you guys know I'm extremely pro-cannabis. I support the industry, not just because of the product, okay, but because of the host agreements that allow you to fund schools.
Yes.
And fund the improvement of roads. And it just makes sense, right, in so many ways. One of the directives of the Cannabis Control Commission and the law is a social equity effort to give those who have been affected by the war on drugs, the failure of the war on drugs, I might add, giving them a chance to actually come into this business and make it. How responsible is Tilt Holdings looking at that? And is there a program, if not in place now, in development that will welcome these people in some way and get them education? I mean, I recognize a lot of people think you need an awful lot of money to go through this process, and I know people saying at least $1 million. I know people who took them $7 million to get their medical dispensary open up, and I know people who have done it all themselves out there in Uxbridge. We're going to salute Caroline out in Uxbridge because she did all the paperwork herself and opened up the first rec-only non-medical dispensary in Massachusetts. I can't wait to meet her one of these days. So let's go to social equity, and I guess we'll use Francesca. Tell me a little bit about what some of the ideas that Tilt has in order to address this.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. It's some. Social equity is something extremely important to Tilt. We actually have an inclusion program, the Tilt Inclusion Program, that we've recently launched. That actually portions of it have been, work in the inner workings of our organization since we started. But the Tilt Inclusion Program is really a platform for individuals who have been affected disproportionately by the war on drugs, and to help them avail of the resources needed to enter this industry and really make a thriving, successful business for themselves. So Tilt, we've been working very, very diligently to understand exactly what the needs of license holders are, and we've come up with a program that really helps the individual get from just the drive and the passion that it takes to be in the cannabis industry to get them to open their doors. So right now we are supporting over a dozen licensees that we're working with and nurturing and helping them build their vision. And we are really excited to bring more people onto this program and really help the industry for people that haven't been helped in the past.
Well, it's a good cause. We all recognize that a lot of people paid not the ultimate price, but a big price to be incarcerated for minimal drug offenses, and at least the politicians and some of those who are in power recognize that we should do something to help these people out. All throughout this country now, this whole green wave towards legalization, and how some states are looking to expunge the records of some of these people that have been incarcerated and what have you. So, I salute that effort totally, and it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's next for you guys? I'm going to go with the software guy first.
Yeah.
What's next for Tilt? I mean, you guys have a ton of dispensaries. You're publicly traded. I mean, what's next?
So technically, we only have one dispensary open right now, with the second on its way open.
Okay.
But I think for Tilt, we're a little bit different in the fact with multi-state operators that we actually have other solutions that really provide services for all types of cannabis businesses, from cultivators, manufacturers, to dispensaries. So I think the synergies between some of our recent acquisitions with Baker, Blackbird, now with Jupiter, which is the leading C-cell hardware provider.
Oh, thank you very much to remind me of this. That is my brand. Ever since it came out, talk about a differentiator.
Yeah.
It was by far the best, the Palm C-cell, and even the straight batteries, the best vaping system, ceramic, heating, whatever, that I have used for my medicinal purposes.
Right.
Awesome.
So I like them.
Yeah.
And Kayla, I talked to Kayla Stone, who's the director of marketing. She's got to, I talked to her like the day she started.
That's really
Cool.
And she's always taken my call. And the fact now that you guys are involved with them, when you guys acquired them, I was really excited.
Yeah,
We're excited as well.
We are. We've been really fortunate. The Tilt family is really comprised of some awesome market leaders that just together we have an awesome opportunity to create a network of services for the industry, and we are really, really excited to be around so many passionate people that really just want to help each other get better.
That's what it's about, because it's already helped so many people. There's an incredible amount of veterans that served our country, come back, and getting assimilated back into the real world has been difficult for them.
Definitely.
And to me, it's one of the most upsetting things about what's been going on in our government, because these guys, they go to the VA, they go to the hospitals, and the doctors can talk to them about it, but they can't do anything about it as far as getting them into a medicinal program. There's all sorts of movements out there. So much research now is being done on this. I always go back to, as a company, you thrive on capitalism. We love it. We love democracy. This has been moving this thing. And yet there's social responsibility by corporations, too, that we're starting to see now. That's got to make it a little, you must take a lot of pride in what you do and the company you're with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if you look around the country, a lot of dispensaries, if you're specifically talking about veterans, veteran discounts, giving veteran-owned stores discounts on software services, etc. That's huge. If you look at statistics, 22 veterans commit suicide daily, which is astronomical. And if you look at organizations like Weed for Warriors and some of the other ones out there that are really trying to, help veterans get relief, and you're starting to see other states actually approve PTSD, which is really exciting. If you look at the state of Illinois, for instance, is a great example. I think PTSD increased their patient count by several thousand. So it's starting to happen, and people are starting to realize that the cannabis is definitely an alternative for our veterans and people with PTSD.
There you go. Well, we're trying to create a new normal here in the United States, right?
Yeah.
I never thought in a million years, guys, that it would be in my home state, okay? I'm sorry. I never thought the Red Sox would win 4 World Series in my lifetime, let alone even the last 15 years, right? And the other team, the one down the road there, it's a football team. Patriots, I think they're called, right?
I think
They've done pretty well, too, right?
Yeah.
It's really a lot of fun. I'm getting is that a 15? 5, okay, thanks. Because he did it 3 times, and I'm like, okay, 5 times 3 is 15. Wait a second, no. Thank you. Appreciate it. This is going to be fun. I mean, you can tell that I'm going to have a blast for the next, few hours. One of my disciples is here. What you guys maybe not know, but I started a training studio for on-camera talent for kids, ages 10 to 18.
Cool. That's
In
exciting.
2008. Do you remember when the entire world's economy fell apart? Half of us, right?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody lost half, right? That was the first day I opened my business. Young Broadcasters of America, October, that weekend in October, 2008. One of my students, one of my proteges, my disciples, is going to be my co-anchor. Wow. She's been I've known her since she was 13 years old. Her name's Nicole Spiller. She just arrived. I'm very excited about that.
Awesome.
And she too will be joining me and doing interviews with people too. I know you have a booth that you have to go man.
Yep.
Is there anything about your dispensary? And I'll be honest, one of the things I have yet to do, we all know what a pub crawl is, right?
That's
All right,
right.
I have a medical card. I've never done a medical crawl. I've been to a lot of the dispensaries, and I'll admit I've not been to yours. Is there anything about that dispensary that differentiates it from others? What will I see as a patient there that I may not see at others? And by the way, Revolutionary Clinics is my sponsor.
Okay.
So, we like them too.
We like Revolutionary
They're
Clinics
the best.
as well.
They are one of the best.
But at Commonwealth Alternative Care, as I mentioned, we're located in Taunton, Massachusetts. And our facility there has both our cultivation and processing arms as well. Really, the store is stunning. It's a beautiful space. Our staff is really, really kind, knowledgeable, professional. They really know their stuff, and they really have really wonderful insights to share with patients. And then on top of it, we carry our own products and as well as some assortments from other purveyors in Massachusetts.
Where's your grow facility?
It's actually in Taunton as well.
Okay,
So
in the same
facility.
same facility.
Growing and processing
Okay,
the same
so when you
facility.
walk in, there's an incredible odor as you walk into a dispensary that has
it's a sweet, sweet smell
sweet
in the
smell.
air. But we do carry a beautiful assortment of products as well.
Yeah.
We grow our own flour, beautiful premium flour. We carry our own brands. We have a topicals line called Slate. We also carry an edibles line called Chroma. And we also have a concentrates line called One. So for those that are interested in trying different kinds of consumables, we have just a wide selection to choose.
And it's a little overwhelming, especially in the beginning. If you get a medical card, your first trip to a dispensary is so overwhelming. There's so much information, so much knowledge out there, and yet everybody's system, everybody's endocannabinoid system is different. So what you may enjoy as far as a dose or a titration is different than what you might, and definitely more than what I might, because let's just say I've done a lot of field research in my lifetime, a lot of experience with this, but because of the arthritic condition that I live in, it has helped me manage pain, and that really is why it became legal and why it's such a good tool to use. So you must take, when people come into you and say, oh my God, I tried that product, that CBD product, or that combination THC and CBD product,
Right.
My pain went away. And isn't that what it's about? That's what gets you jonesed every morning. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it actually does. Our staff can actually provide testimonials to how much our patients come back and tell them that they feel better, and thanking our staff, our PSAs, for helping them choose between what kind of medication would actually alleviate some of that pain or discomfort. We're really, really proud and very, very excited and feel very honored to have the opportunity to help other people.
There you go. Last thoughts about the software world and why Tilt Holdings is so spectacular, and why every single dispensary anybody is interested should be using your stuff.
I would say that the biggest differentiator is we provide end-to-end solutions. So there's a lot of solutions out there with online ordering, right? And it might be just for pickup. With Tilt and our software and services, we have the ability to actually take the product and deliver it to the consumer, which is definitely different than most companies, obviously in a state where that's allowed. But also just the knowledge. I mean, Baker, we've been around for almost 4 years, and we're right at about 1,100 dispensaries right now. So about a third of the market in the U.S. is using our platform.
Now, lastly, the Globe recently put out a spotlight piece in the last 24 to 48 hours, the Boston Globe, the newspaper in town owned by John Henry, also owns the Red Sox. And the whole theme of that article, I thought, was are we worried about the big companies dominating the industry? But in the beginning, don't you need the big company to show the way?
Well, I'd like to
That was a
think.
good job, there. That was well done. Jeez, I don't want to answer that one. Fantastic.
I mean,
this is the last question. I
Right, the
promise.
last question. So,
Yep.
well, I'd like to
Just
think.
reminded me.
I'd like to think that what makes an industry thrive is not domination, but collaboration, and that's what Tilt is really here to do. We're here to support businesses through and through, from seed to sale, from soup to nuts, to that last mile, to really touching that consumer and letting them know that we are here to make them feel better. And really, that's the biggest opportunity on the table. And Tilt, we really want to take advantage of that opportunity and show the world that we're here to service the industry.
Terrific. Hey, you guys are doing a great service to the industry just by being the presenting sponsor here, and I congratulate you. And it's been so great to work 2 weeks getting to know you.
Thank
I'm
you.
coming to Taunton.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll let you know in advance. all right? I
Commonwealth,
wish-
all care. Yes.
Commonwealth, and I appreciate you coming out
Thanks.
here too, Taylor. Thank you so much. Good luck to you
Exactly.
guys.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you again.
Thank you so
and,
much.
by the way, you're welcome back here anytime because I've got 18 hours to fill, and I know
We're gonna check in on you on Sunday.
I already see you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will be burnt out. Okay, 4:05. You know where I'm going. All right. Thank you guys again.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate it.
so
Thank
we're live streaming here from the New England Cannabis Convention. This is the Cannabis Multimedia Network. We are live on the CLNS Media Platforms YouTube channel, and we are live on our own website now, Cannabis Multimedia Network. And as soon as Google gets caught up to us, go to cmn.com. Will work.